Hi, I'm here with Mark Lynskey from Lynskey Performance Designs, and we've walked around the show ourselves. We've seen the forums on NTBR, and there's quite a bit of buzz about the bikes that they brought along. So we are very happy to have Mark here and show us these bikes. But Mark, before we show the goods, tell us about yourself and how you came about.
Well, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. The show up here in Portland has been absolutely wonderful. The attendance is amazing. It's more than what I've.
There's any break.
How did we get here? You know, as you may or may not know, my family started Lightspeed back in the mid '80s, and had a wonderful experience with that. That's how we came to know and appreciate and be friends with the bike industry. That grew up into the mid '90s, and we were very successful in that. However, we made the decision to sell the business in 1999.
Golf and
from that, the family kind of retired for a few years to kind of take a little breather. We had it's the only job we've ever, and still even me today, it's really the only job we've ever had since my dad had us in his little machine shop when we were little toddlers working on stuff. But a couple of years ago, my mother, as moms will be, started talking to me, Mark, what are you thinking about doing next? And she's also on the phone with David. So are you thinking about doing something different? And Chris, thinking about doing something different? And the next thing you know, she's got us all together at Thanksgiving. And 8 months after that, well, here we are. So you kind of have to, good old moms plotting to keep
moms have a way, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're very fortunate in that as a family, we worked really well together. And she saw that and wanted to keep it going.
She probably saw the fire burning within you guys again. The embers.
Yeah. Well, the phoenix up from the flames, so to speak. But anyway, we really enjoyed the venue here, and we did create a couple of interesting bikes to bring along. Whereas ours are. This is some relatively new stuff.
Right.
For instance, what we've got going on here is a belt drive single speed. Now, belt drive, as you well know, it kind of got introduced to the industry last fall.
Right.
And show just a little.
Been going on. The people have been developing the belts, developing the drives, but they've now got it ready to go, and it's my understanding that the parts are going to be truly available on a production scale within the next weeks to months.
Wow.
So when I heard that, and also heard the endorsements from the individuals that have been testing it as to how well it works, and how well it works, what are the benefits that you would look for in a belt drive? Certainly, if you are from a performance perspective, it's much lighter than the conventional chains, etc. But also from a utilitarian perspective, it's virtually maintenance-free. I mean, the numbers I'm hearing are these belts will last, thousands and thousands of miles.
8,000 miles, I heard.
Yeah, I'm hearing numbers like that, which
it's unthinkable.
Is virtually how many chains do we need to go through? Right. On top of that, it's really not that expensive.
Yeah.
The only caveat, and they've done a very good job of making it work with conventional bike designs, conventional hubs and bottom brackets and cranks.
Right.
The single caveat to that is since it's a belt and you can't break it like a chain to get it installed, it has to be a frame that's designed to accept it. And so within that design, you have to create something either in the chainstay or seat stay that will separate and allow the belt to be installed and then come back together. And so while there are several methodologies going on about that, some people are using couplers, some people are using dropouts that disassemble. Since we're primarily fabricating in titanium, one of the benefits to us is the durability of the metal. So I can create a very simple disassembly point here at the seat stay, and all you have to do is spread that back slightly. It only takes about 3/8 of an inch. You insert the belt, put the 2 bolts back in, and you're good to go. And of course, the design of the dropout that you can't quite see from the camera, the dropout in the stay actually absorb most of the, if not all of the energy and force going on there. The bolts, there's no load on the bolts other than to hold it together.
I see. Right.
We do have a road version for fixed
of the belt drive.
Yes, and a mountain version, and they'll be able as soon as the parts are readily available, which once again I'm understanding is just a mere weeks away. We'll have the bikes available.
I noticed a bit of machine work went into here as well.
Yes, sir. On the mountain bikes, especially if you're wanting a performance-oriented geometry, which part of that is shorter wheelbase than a cruiser would be, shorter chainstays, etc. You have some potential clearance issues going on because this belt is, with a chain is much narrower. Your chain rings are very narrow, so you have a wider thing that you've got to deal with there. And so what we created, and if you want to see it, I'll hold it up, where in that segment of it, I use a plate, and that virtually eliminates any kind of problems you're going to have. So you can still run the tires the width of tire you would want to run, the short stays that you'd prefer, and it's going to give you plenty of clearance in choosing your cog ratios.
Right. I'm impressed with how fast your company's been able to respond to such design needs.
Well, that's a little bit at the core of what we're doing this time around. We're I'm not going to just say the word high-end perspective, but we want to stay at the head of innovation, and because of our history of manufacturing and the way that we've set up our facility, we're able to do these things. I mean, this bike, literally 3 weeks ago, were tubes in the rack.
No way.
And we didn't even have this drawn out.
Oh my God.
But it.
You have the infrastructure and
yeah, we've been doing this for quite a while, so you know what works, what doesn't work, and so that's one of the benefits.